Good morning, fam. It's Erica with Not Your Average EDC, and today we are doing a week 1 update on the testing of the Benchmade mini grip, the Hogue Doug Ritter mini RSK, the Hogue Deca in Magnacut, and the Benchmade Bugout. We will first go over this pair right here. These two are going head to head. The mini grip and the mini Ritter. So let's just go over really quick what I noticed that is different, and then we will go over some similarities. This is not the review or anything. This is just the week 1 update of the testing because I do 4 updates throughout the month, and then we kind of make a conclusion at the end. So as time goes on with these two, the geometry of the blade definitely is really standing out. I cannot emphasize how fantastic of a slicer this mini Ritter is. This is really a fantastic blade shape, guys. I feel like they nailed it with the stock thickness and the grind and just kind of the overall blade shape. It's crazy slicey. And I really find myself kind of naturally reaching for this one to do the majority of the tasks that I have been doing, just because I know, my brain knows that this is the better slicer. I'm really starting to feel like the mini grip is just outdated. It's kind of officially outdated, and I really do love this knife, but when you can get a lot of the same capabilities in a slicier form, I mean, why wouldn't you choose this one? You know, like, this is just superior in a lot of ways. So this blade shape is just, it's just so thick. And it's more like a wedge, and it really wants to wedge things apart. Now, as I have stated before, if you're using your knife for things other than cutting and slicing, and you're using it as a multi-tool, and a pry bar, and a poker, and a little drill and stuff, then yes, the mini grip still has a place. It really does. Benchmade kind of nailed it with this grind that they did on this blade. All of these angles here really back up the tip, and it's a super sturdy knife. It just isn't the best slicer. So I really do find myself reaching for this one more so. This is much more of like a multi-tool knife. But somebody had mentioned the other day that they feel like the Benchmade ends up being a better, like, cutter once you sharpen it. And unfortunately, I do have to disagree. I just feel like when you have this different of a geometry, it doesn't matter how sharp the Benchmade is. The geometry of the Ritter will still outperform it with most tasks. Not to mention, I'm really having a good time with this 20 CV from Hogue. And I know that some people have said that it's not very good, and we have seen tests that prove that it isn't the best, but at least mine is pretty darn good. It's the edge retention is actually doing much better than I thought, and it is 100% outperforming the S30V from Benchmade. So I'm really enjoying both of these, but I just feel that out of these two, this one is really just kind of shining here. I really like this. And everything about it, all of the updates are fantastic. I have heard rumor that they're discontinuing the Griptilian and the mini grip. I don't know if that's true or not. I'd be kind of surprised, but if they are, it's definitely a bummer if they're not going to, like, revisit it with updates. If they're just gonna, like, cancel this 100% and not update it and, like, redo it, that's really too bad because this has a lot going for it. It just could use some modern touches, I suppose, if Benchmade wanted to continue doing this. They might not see a reason because Hogue does have it already with all of those updates. So who knows what the truth is? There are so many stories and rumors that go around. I don't even know what's true anymore, but this is just an absolutely fantastic knife so far, guys. I am seriously enjoying this. This is an absolute workhorse. So really the only differences that I am seeing between this and the mini grip are the cutting capabilities with the geometry. Everything else is really exactly the same. Especially in terms of this handle. They just feel identical. So, definitely having a really good time with these two lately. I am enjoying using this as kind of like my sharpened pry bar type knife. And like I said, this tip here is actually really nice for unclogging hoses and tubing and sprayers and all that stuff. Can you do it with this? Yes, but this is just a little wider, and this is definitely more of a slicer. This isn't, it's not as precise down here as the mini grip. I really like how this one kind of narrows out. So now let's talk about the Hogue Deca and the Benchmade Bugout, because these are also the second pair that are going head-to-head this month. So these are both really good. You guys know that I love the Bugout. I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I have been for a very long time. The Hogue Deca is kind of the Hogue version of the Bugout with a few changes, but they're very similar. As time goes on, I unfortunately do have to say that the Deca just, I feel like it was kind of a miss. It just doesn't have what it needs to stay at the top, in my opinion. The scales are just too cheap feeling and sharp, and this blade shape is great, but, you know, as we've talked about, this particular blade in MagnaCut blows. Pocket clip is still garbage, still have to run it in my pocket instead of clipping it. I just feel like this has a lot of potential, but in this format, at least, it just doesn't fly. It literally feels disposable, which, you know, I am using it and beating the crap out of it kind of as like a utility blade, but I don't know. They kind of didn't really hit it with this Deca, with these plastic scales. I really do wish that they had kind of rounded these a little bit more. And I don't even know what it is about this plastic, because you guys know I like FRN, but it just feels like trash. It's just like smooth and like just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel that great. It literally feels disposable, and then I have to remind myself that I paid like $150 or $130 for this thing, which is really odd. The G10 versions are probably way better. The updated versions with the higher treated MagnaCut are probably much better, but this one just, I literally at times just want to snap it. I just want to snap it. It's just kind of garbage in comparison to the Bugout here. But I will say, regardless of the feel of the quality of the blade and the knife, I really, really enjoy this tip. This, if we were to cut off the handle and just talk about the blade shape, this is one of the coolest blade shapes I've ever used. I really do enjoy how thin and slicey it is, but it's surprisingly strong. This tip has really been a lifesaver. Now, that coating was already a little bit worn off from Jared's testing, and then I've been using it and it's been wearing off a little bit more. But the tip is very strong, and using it as an unclogging tool and kind of a more precise like edge and tip to dig things out. I mean, look. That is a very sharp tip. Like, it digs right into this wood here, which I really like. So again, if you use your knives as multi-tools, this is kind of like this very much reminds me of a utility razor. So this blade shape is crazy cool. I'm really enjoying also the surface contact that you make with it. Like if I put the knife like this, you have that compound grind here. And the first half of that blade contacts the table here, which is really cool. I really like that. It's almost like a straight razor. You can see a little bit of light shining through, but generally speaking, right here you can really use that first half for a lot of chopping and stuff because it makes great surface contact. Now back here, it does not hit at all if we put the knife down. But that second half of the compound grind can be used for cuts where you're not working on a surface, cutting rope and twine and any packages and stuff, anything where you don't need to contact that surface. This side is great, and I'm also noticing I'm almost using this as two blades, so this tends to dull much faster because I'm doing a lot of surface cutting with this side. But then down here, this is like my kind of sharper, keener edge for tasks where I'm not cutting on a surface. So that's kind of neat. Haven't noticed any issues with sharpening at all. Honestly, I do not sharpen this separately from this, which I maybe should, but I am actually blending the whole edge. I do not feel that I need to do them separately like a Tonto or something. I'm just doing them all at the same time. I just change my angle on the stone. Once I get to here, I just tilt a little bit and then finish. But that blade shape is fantastic, and I really hope that Hogue kind of continues to work on this and really dial it in, because at least this blade shape is lovely for utility tasks. It's just kind of the rest of the knife that I feel like they completely skimped out on here. The Bugout, I can't find anything wrong with this yet, guys. And this is a knife that I've tested before, and we're only running it up against the Deca because I feel like they are very comparable, right? The Bugout is just a beast. It really is. This is just simply one of the best knives ever created. This model is freaking genius, guys. I will say that this is the blade with the older coating, and I do enjoy this more than that new kind of like Cerakote Teflon whatever coating. It's almost like a powder coat, the new one is. And I do notice that this old coating, this nitride whatever coating, moves through material much easier than the new coating. So I actually enjoy this older model better. This coating is more slick and it moves through with more ease. Been doing a lot of tasks with this one as well. Even though that tip is kind of thin, it has not had any issues with anything I'm doing whatsoever. Ergonomics extremely comfortable still. Pocket clip holding up fantastic. Great retention on that little mini deep carry clip there. Just awesome. I have nothing bad to say about the Bugout yet. And again, this is a knife that I've already tested before, a model I have tons of experience with. It's just one that I can't give up on. It is just fabulous. Crazy rugged for the compact, lightweight package that you are getting. So obviously, as you could probably guess, this is definitely winning my heart over if we are talking about this pair here. I feel that the Bugout is the one that is just doing much better in this pair here. But eventually I would like to try maybe a G10 Deca or the Deca with the updated Magna Cut. But yeah, Bugout is really performing fantastic, and just overall build quality is much better than the Deca. And then if we bring these two back in, I cannot differentiate these two as easily as this pair because the mini grip is not lacking as much as the Hogue Deca. It's just that this blade slices better than this one. But overall build, feel, etc., very, very similar. Obviously, the Mini RSK is much more modern. And we know that in the Hogue models, they have wolf springs, which are supposed to be a little more durable. But if we're just talking overall, which one is better, much harder to differentiate these two. So that's just a quick update on how things are going. Still really putting all of these through the paces with the camper renovations and stuff. I'm really going to try to get some filming in of that this weekend. It's just been really hard to manage getting things on film. We're just very, very busy. But I am going to try to film some of that stuff this weekend. That way we can get these kind of in action again. But yeah, there's the week 1 update of the testing, guys. Hope you all have a great day. Go use your shit. And I will see you on the next video. I love you all.